We're going to talk about appearance changes again today. Your physical appearance is not as fixed as you believe it is. The 3D world has a design that makes you believe that that is the ultimate reality. It's non-changeable. It's just the way that it is. But if that was the case, how come we change? How come people literally look different from time to time? How come people usually seem to look worse as they get older? But then there are the odd few that they just seem to look better and better every time you see them. How is that possible? It's possible because the way you look is not a fixed form. It is a projection of light and your brain's interpretation of that projection. Everything that you see and experience here is not really permanent. It's not physical in the way that we think physical things are. They just look physical and we perceive them to be physical because that's how time-space reality and our human bodies and our consciousness interprets things. So let's talk about how to actually shift the projection that you're seeing so that you can look the way that you want. Because I've done this many times before for all different aspects of my appearance, so I know that it works. And a lot of you are commenting that you see shifts in my appearance subtly from video to video and that I'm getting prettier each time. So thank you if that was you. Before I begin, I am Paris. I'm Princess Paris, and I am healthy. I am radiant. I am beauty. I am perfection. My body is capable of miracles. My cells are magic. I am literally aging in reverse. And so are you. So if you've manifested anything before, you will know that who you decide to be and what you claim to be internally will be reflected on the external. And that includes your appearance. Now, usually when people think about appearance, the one thing that they forget to do, instead of just focusing on the thing you want, like for example, say I want a better face structure, I want longer, thicker hair, I want to look healthier. Instead of just thinking, okay, I'm going to manifest these things, go a step deeper. Be like, who would I be if I had these things? Who would I be if I looked that way that I want? This is what I did. I was like, okay, so I know how I want to look. I want to look like the healthiest, most beautiful, most radiant version of myself. And there were specific things I wanted to change. I wanted to have a better facial structure, like a more developed face, a sharper jawline. My temples, I always felt like they were kind of sunken. And I wanted them more filled in. There's a long list of things that I wanted. And I decided that, okay, if I want these things, then that means that I already have them. They must already exist in some form. And the truth is they do. Your desires already exist in an energetic form. Because if they didn't exist in some kind of form, you wouldn't be able to perceive of them. They wouldn't even cross your mind. I claimed, I am this. I have this. When I looked in the mirror and saw that my face was asymmetrical, it didn't look developed, I looked unhealthy, my dark circles were really bad, my hair was thinning. When I saw these things, I didn't give power to them. This is the one thing that shifted my state enough so that I could change my appearance, is I looked in the mirror and I was like, okay, I'm acknowledging that I see that right now, but that's not my final truth. What I see right now, that mirror, that's not the boss of me. I'm the boss of the mirror. I don't care what it's showing me right now. I don't care that it looks that way. I don't care that I don't like what I see. That's irrelevant because I look the way that I want. I know that and I claim it. And I did that every time I saw myself. I mean, you don't have to go into that much detail, but it's more of an inner knowing. Like I made a video about how persistence is knowing. It was called How to Persist in the 3D when nothing's changing. Go watch that video because I go into who you really are, your true essence, and why you're able to manifest effortlessly, why manifestation is actually your natural state of being. Every time you look in the mirror, or every time you think about that thing that you don't like on your body, claim it to be something different. I also made a video about neutrality and how physical appearance manifests through neutrality. That was my first ever video. I explain why sometimes when you're too attached to something or where you're too obsessed with it or where you're like, oh my God, I really need this. I desperately need this, or I can't go on living, or my life's going to be shit. When you're in that state, your completely separating yourself from your desire rather than making yourself one with it. And this whole game is about making yourself one with your desire, because you are source, so you already have everything. You are fullness. But because you are so powerful, if you make the choice to decide or claim that you don't have something, or you are not the person you want to be, that is what will be shown to you. That it will be truth, because you're powerful enough to also manifest bad things, to manifest things you don't want. You're manifesting all the time, every second of the day, without you even realizing. So clock yourself, pay attention to the things you tell yourself, and start telling yourself different things, not just about the way you look, but the person you are. I'm confident, I'm magnetic, I am radiant, everyone loves me, everyone's obsessed with me, the world is on my side, the universe bends for me, everything always works out perfectly for me. You can't lie to yourself though. So you can't tell yourself you are this person, you are hot, you have this face, and then 2 seconds later go to the mirror and contradict yourself. Like, it doesn't work like that. That's why when you attain neutrality, what you're really doing is becoming neutral, not just about to your appearance, but you're becoming neutral to the whole 3D world. Because when you are neutral about the whole 3D world, because you know how this game works, you're able to look at things from a detached point of view. And when you do that, what you're really doing is whatever you tell yourself inside, it's going to come true so much easier, because you're not fighting with what you see on the external. If you're constantly fighting with what you see on the external, if you're constantly fighting your appearance, you're not going to be able to change it as easily. So give up the fight, drop your weapons. It's really like, you don't have to do that. Now, if you look in the mirror or you think about the way you look and it really stresses you out, you have a lot of trauma, you have a lot of negative emotions that come out, that's kind of a separate thing that you need to acknowledge. When it comes to emotions and manifesting, there is a lot of contradicting and confusing information out there about what do you do about your emotions. Do you need healing? Do you not need healing? There's a lot of nuance actually to this. You as source don't need healing. You are healed. There is nothing to fix. You are perfect. You are whole. You are complete. You as a human, you may experience not being those things. I mean, most of us, do have negative emotions. We have things that we feel bad about. We have events or emotions or experiences that we repeat in our head and we get stuck on, we cling to. That's just you being human. And these are not things that you have to fear. You can manifest despite these. It just may be more of a kind of arduous journey than it needs to be. In my experience, it's way nicer and way more kind to yourself to actually acknowledge these things, like acknowledge your fears. There's ways to become friends again with your body. Now, I say this a lot, but it really is that, because trauma, negative feelings and emotions, they are your body's way of communicating something to you. They are a way of your body telling you that there is a point of distress regarding something, and please can you acknowledge it. Now, sometimes obviously these can be very overwhelming and it can be very hard to acknowledge it, which is why if you want further support, please get in touch with me. I offer guidance for this reason specifically, because I know how hard it can be to deal with this kind of stuff yourself. And it was only when I got support myself to work through some of my issues and trauma that I was actually able to let go of the old story and move on to the new. Sometimes all you need is like a helping hand to guide you through it to get to the other side. So I offer one-to-one guidance. The link is in the description for that. I'm also considering making a video about dealing with insecurity and trauma when manifesting your appearance or any physical change. If you would like that, please let me know. Back to the fact that your physical form is just a projection of light. The way I see it is that you are here on earth in your physical state, but you also have a soul blueprint of like the basically perfect form that your body can be in. I believe we all have this because we are all perfect forms. There is a blueprint that exists in a higher dimension because everything in the 3D is just a projection from a higher place of consciousness. We are in constant communication with them. As within, so without, as above, so below, as above being the higher dimensions. From my experience of glowing up and having a facial glow up, namely, I realized that those desires that I really wanted, that way that I wanted to look, wasn't just like me. I wasn't just coming up with it out of the blue. It didn't just come from nowhere. It came from my higher self communicating with me that this is how I can look. The most healthiest, radiant, beautiful version of me does exist, and this is who she is, and this is how she looks. Notice how I didn't just say this is how she looks, because the looks go with the identity. They go with the person. It's very interesting. I noticed this. As I glowed up internally, I glowed up externally. And they kind of both fed off each other. It's like I got more confident and I felt more at peace with myself. I looked better. I found more habits that I could implement to make me look better. Then I felt better. Then I did things that made me more successful. Then I looked better. Like, it's all like a positive cycle. Have you ever had this experience where you noticed something that you didn't like about yourself, you focused on it, it got worse, and then you felt worse, and then the person you were was like a worse version of yourself? That stuff happens all the time, and people were just like, oh, that's life. That's just life. Life's just shit, you know? If it's possible to negatively spiral, it's also possible to positively spiral. So if you've noticed yourself start deteriorating or looking worse, know that the other perspective is also possible, because contrast exists in this universe. So if that's possible, the positive must be possible, which is rejuvenating yourself and looking better and feeling better. So know that it is possible for you. And I'm always here. My channel's always here for you. I'm going to talk more about appearance, health, having just a general glow up, like being a god/goddess, because it's honestly all linked. It's all linked. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for watching my video. Bye. I forgot to mention, but if you would like my step-by-step process of how I manifested my appearance changes, I have made a Manifest Your Dream Appearance Guide, and I've had very good feedback with the guide. So if you're interested, the link is down below. It literally says everything I did to achieve my results.